So pretty meaningful change is actually possible when we're strategic. So just to sort of summarize, we need to address content, we need to address pedagogy, and we need to address context. Addressing any one of them, or two in combination, doesn't address the full scale of reimagining that's necessary. I'm just going to try to run a little video that talks about the kinds of things that are happening in the university. And the cool thing about this video was put together by an
In 2008, President Dunn signed a and set a goal for WMU to become a national campus sustainability leader.
Okay.
In 2008, he also created the President's University-wide Sustainability Committee, a broad-based, open, and transparent group of students, faculty, and staff to advise him on creating a path for realizing his vision. In 2009, Dunn built upon years of nationally recognized energy conservation efforts by facilities management and signed the President's Climate Commitment. In 2010, WMU students created their own commitment to support sustainability by passing the Sustainability Fund Initiative. After final approval from the Board of Trustees, WMU advanced its leadership role by becoming the first college or university in Michigan to have a sustainability fee. After these tremendous accomplishments, the Office for Sustainability was formed. The Office for Sustainability was created in the fall of 2010 to guide and assist the university community in fulfilling and growing its sustainability commitments. Through initiatives, internships, and projects, the office helps the university develop a diverse and flourishing community that fosters sustainability. The office is run by a devoted team, including Dr. Harold Glasser, Executive Director for Campus Sustainability and Professor of Environmental Studies, Matt Hollander, Coordinator of Sustainability Projects and a WMU graduate, Carolyn Nowak, Manager of Recycling and Waste Reduction, Jeff Spolstra, Sustainability Coordinator, and Kate Binder, Graduate Assistant. The Office for Sustainability is moving to a new location on the corner of West Michigan Avenue and Howard Street in fall 2012.
We Sustain internships are year-long opportunities open to all students who pay a student sustainability fee. Interns are paid to research and work on campus sustainability projects and policies that are led by students, faculty, and staff. Projects include an annual student sustainability survey, bike and pedestrian-friendly campus research, the Sustainability Across Research and Teaching Initiative for faculty, researching and writing white papers, permaculture research, the Eco-Mug, and videos like this one. Students who have creative ideas are strongly encouraged to apply for student sustainability grants. Grants are available to all students who pay the sustainability fee. Any proposal that promotes a campus culture of sustainability and potentially benefits all students is eligible. Proposals must be safe, legal, adequately budgeted, and possible within existing university infrastructure to qualify, and selection is through a blind review process by student peers. Gibbs House Fellowship Program is a special residential form of We Sustain It.
I'm going to just stop that. It's available on our YouTube channel, so anybody who would like to can see the rest of that. But I'm just going to turn back to this. So it gives you an impression that I can sort of talk to you about the kinds of things that are going on there and the scale and character of change. You know, it started with the president asking me, I previously, worked with the UN and worked with other university presidents who cared. No one at my campus really cared about this. So these changes have happened since 2008 because of a president who deeply cared, who wanted to empower faculty and staff to do things, and a vice president for business and finance who was willing to take a very profound leadership role. So this is what the WMU campus, the main campus, looks like. There's a med school and another campus also. An engineering campus with a BTR park. And then roughly 25,000 students, 7.8 million square feet, 1,200 acres, 151 buildings. One of the unique things is we have our own cogen power plant, which is pretty unique in higher education. Now runs off natural gas, and at Carnegie, one research institution. So, I'm going to go through a few of the things that have happened, just so you can have a sense. What I'm trying to do is sort of let all of you know that you can have a meaningful influence on your own college campus, rather than talking theory, just alone. So, I started something called the Campus Sustainability Assessment Project in 2000, which put together a giant database of all the campus sustainability assessments that have been done in the US and Canada. There were about 1,500 by then. And Xin used a bunch of this research with some of the work that was done in Taiwan. We had a group that was supported by then Vice President for Business and Finance in 2003. And then we had a president who didn't really care. So we had a statement about sustainability, and it sat probably in a landfill. It didn't get recycled by the staff president. But in 2008, everything changed. President Dunn, who you saw in the video, came on board. He agreed to sign the Talwar Declaration, the first thing. I said, great. And then I said, well, can you create a committee of the whole university? That's the undergraduate students, graduate students, staff, faculty, administrators, and senior level administrators have to come. He said, sure. He said, give us a year to come up with what I call the Strategic Sustainability Initiatives Report for how we're going to approach these issues. So not a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year plan, a plan that was no more than 3 years. So initiatives that we're going to accomplish in 1 to 3 years. And we did that in 2009. We came out with that report. 2009, we were identified as one of 80 campus national sustainability leaders. We went from nothing to that. President Dunn signed something called the ACU-PCC, which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. It's an agreement that college and university presidents have signed to become zero net carbon. Just after that, our students took the initiative on their own. Most of them were my students. They were pretty cool. And they created a fee to support the investment of the university into sustainability, training, research opportunities. I gave a talk at Harvard a couple months ago, and we created a program, what you saw at the Student Sustainability Grant Program, where we have $75,000 US that's available for students, not faculty, just students, for sustainability research projects and initiatives. It's decided on a blind review process by their peers, by undergraduate and graduate students. Harvard has $30,000, and it's decided by staff and faculty in that hierarchical kind of social learning model. The Office for Sustainability was created in 2010 because everybody realized there needed to be an implementation body to do this. Sustainability was added to the university mission in December of 2011. So just last year, sustainability became a part of the university mission in our new strategic plan. And then in 2012, we created the START initiative that I said, the sustainability across research and teaching. We finished our climate action plan, and we move into a new building 2 weeks from when I come home. So this is the model that we've used, what I call our social learning process model for building a campus culture of sustainability. And I'm just going to quickly go through the kinds of things we've done. So how do we engage people? Well, some people care about biodiversity. Other people realize that we're losing cultural diversity faster than biodiversity. And they connect that to the kinds of things that we talked about in terms of the state of the planet, and then we really don't have anywhere else to go. So we do something to kind of get people engaged. We give what we call the Ego Mug to all first-year incoming students. It's a stainless double-wall mug made in China. There's a long story behind that. We can't get anyone to make them in the States. But we now have a collaboration with our dining services, so students can't get any takeout from any of the dining service operations unless they use this. They can't get takeout otherwise. So part of the social learning collaboration is working with all these other organizations on campus so that those maladaptive forces don't have the opportunity to take root. And it's not as easy as it sounds. There's a lot of negotiation to make that happen. And then giving students the freedom to do things like supporting this by developing posters and t-shirts and the kinds of things that get them excited. That's part of an initiative to create a student-run cafe. It's working with local farmers. And it's diet-sensitive and allergy-sensitive and things like that. I have a bunch of these I can give out. These are the kinds of programs that we talked about. So we have the grant program, a residential living learning laboratory program, and then an internship program for both undergraduate and graduate students. You saw what happened. This was the student fee came about through inspiration of, that's Kate Shields. She was the person who first came up with it. The university owns biological reserves, so that's another way that might inspire people. We have a native landscaping project that, for when classes go out here to identify the plants, they first come to that house to identify the plants in a structured environment so they can find them in a wild environment. And what do we do to lead? Well, we had a project that looked at taking this building and turning it into our office. These were the models to do that, to make it zero net carbon and do green roof research. And that, we were given that building and then it was taken away from us, so we don't always get what we want. These are some outdoor leadership training we do. That's Carrie DeLong, who's our natural areas resource manager. So very few campuses have a person who's responsible, a former student of mine, for administering and making sure that the natural areas are taken care of. These are some of the stormwater projects that she's responsible for. And you can see we're the only university in the state of Michigan that's actually met what's called our TMDL requirement, and we're heading towards stormwater neutrality. That's the Campus Sustainability Assessment Project. These are the kinds of things that we did in terms of assessment to look at where we were with respect to the Talwar Declaration. So many of you have had your president sign the Talwar Declaration. Well, you can do an assessment of looking at each one of the 10 Talwar Declaration items and see what you're doing relative to all of them. I'm going to just sort of skip through these, but you can see the kinds of activities that we're doing relative to each one of those. This was part of the survey that we gave to all faculty about for the START initiative. These were posters dealing with the Student Sustainability Survey. How do the students think about how that money is being used? These are some research that we've done in terms of benchmarking for looking at our waste reduction. And I'm going to just talk about this, and then I'm going to sort of end with this. So, a graduate student was talking to me about, that's Dennis Meadows from the Limits to Growth Project. And he came up with a game that tried to address and look at how we do natural resource management. It's called fish banks. And I actually did fish banks with people here. But I was in a meeting with Dennis a few years ago, and I said, Dennis, what do you think about the results of fish banks? What happens in fish banks is always, in his example, that fisheries crash. And he thinks that's a good thing. And I said, do you think this is an example of human behavior or an example of the system structure that you've created in the game? Because it has one objective: achieve the greatest possible assets by the end of the game, usually 10 rounds. And so I decided to create a different game. It's called Catch. And it has two goals. The first goal is catch as many fish as you can. And the second is leave as many fish in the ocean as possible. And people behave very differently. And so I've used this in work as Japan Fulbright and bringing different faculty together for ESD. The results are very, very different. So I'm going to just sort of skip through these. Can I have 2 minutes more? Or no? No? Okay. So I'm going to just leave you with this one message then. And the message is here. And I can have it, you'll have it in the PowerPoint I'm going to give to everyone. But it's the summary of sort of the lessons that we've learned through this application of social learning and trying to kind of create these meaningful behavior change examples on our campus. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this great, very encouraging lecture. That we know there's something actually can be done in the campus, and also through a lot of social learning process, building a new culture in our campus. I want to leave some questions, but the time is there. So maybe after the tea break, we can discuss. Yeah, so we end up this section, and the next section will be focused upon the next speaker. Thank you very much, and be the